Hey everyone, Xeon over here from Nintendo. Pure Xbox. And today we're here to share with you our review of Persona 3 Reload, which we played on Xbox Series X. Now, this review was originally written by PJ O'Reilly for PureXbox.com, but was reworked into this video by me. When we reviewed the Xbox Series X version of Persona 3 Portable last year, we slapped on it an enthusiastic 8 out of 10, calling the game a turning point for the Atlus franchise, one that redirected the tone somewhat away from the dark and dingy aesthetic of the first two entries towards the more confident, cool atmosphere that's become the signature of this spectacular series ever since. Persona 3 Portable itself was an updated version of the stunning 2006 original, one that transformed the game to better suit a handheld platform's capabilities. It stripped out some beautiful anime cutscenes, removed the ability to free roam the environments, and generally cut back on some stuff that could make the old PSP chug a little bit. But why are we wasting time talking about this instead of getting straight into the new version? Well, because we want to point out the fact that, even in a resized portable form, Persona 3 remains an utterly gripping RPG. Serve up a story this well written with a cast of characters you'll want to be close with, and you could likely cut quite a lot of other bells and whistles before it dips out of a highly recommended territory for us. Except for the male or female protagonist choice, Persona 3 Reload doesn't actually cut any bells and whistles at all. It adds them. And it adds them in spades. Persona 3 Reload invites us back to Gekkoukan High School, where our nameless orphan protagonist, which again is only male this time around unfortunately, has just enrolled after moving back to their hometown. True to form for the franchise, as soon as they've settled in and are beginning to make some pals, strange things begin to occur. Our hero learns that he has the power of Persona hidden within, a power he must wield against shadows during the Dark Hour, which is a hidden hour that occurs at midnight and sees normal humans transmogrified into coffins while demons run rampant. Which sounds like the same sort of deal PJ and Craig have described Pure Xbox as on a Monday morning. Much like Persona 4 and 5, the main rhythm of the game sees you split your time between daily activities at school and battling bizarro demons, with social and romance aspects cleverly tied to the combat side of proceedings. It's a world that's designed to be explored on your own terms when you're not in an unavoidable battle, and making the time to strike out and get to know the neighborhood rewards you with all sorts of extra content and conversations that are helped along by uniformly excellent dialogue, strong emerging themes, and a central mystery that keeps things compelling all the way through. Before long, our protagonist joins up with the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad, or S.E.E.S if you don't want to say that one again, which is a group composed of other students who travel to the Tower of Tartarus every night during the Dark Hour in order to fight off shadows, rescue trapped innocents, and generally kick all sorts of butt, utilizing the game's delightful turn-based combat. Now, aside from discussing story spoilers, let's talk about what this reload layers on top of an already impressively good game. The most obvious change is the graphics, which now have been brought in line with Persona 5's ultra-stylish looks. And brought in line honestly doesn't even do it justice. Once you dig in, though, you'll find that the artists at Atlus have gone straight to town with some cool-as-heck combat animations, Persona transformations, and fancy stylistic flourishes that just keep on impressing, raising a smile, and most importantly, pushing return players forward to discover how everything they remember now looks, sounds, and feels just better. Like a fresh walk down Memories of You Lane, it can't be overstated just how stunning some of this all-new fanciness is in motion, with the developers once again proving they are masters when it comes to creating cutscenes and attack animations that are about as funky as video games get. 3D models, backgrounds, scenery, and everything else you can see here as you explore the city or dig into dungeon crawling has also been remade and updated, and with this Series X version running flawlessly at 4K 60 FPS, it's quite the dramatic revamp overall, and one that stands as one of the more thorough remakes we've been treated to in recent years. This graphical overhaul extends out to every other aspect of the game, including the game's new slick UI and menus. Again, if you've played Persona 5, you'll know the drill here, and as a result, everything just feels so much more modern and user-friendly. Menus in particular, even though they were fine in the vanilla version, are now so stylish and snappy that it's a joy to jump in fusing personas and all that good stuff that gives this one so much depth. Everything just looks and feels so darn good. The in-game map of the city also got a nice 3D revamp, making it far easier to read details. Perhaps most importantly though, Tartarus, the most divisive of dungeons, has seen changes that make it more impactful and enjoyable. There's more variety between floors and areas, new hidden secrets, treasures, and areas to find. And even the fatigue mechanic has also been excised, so feel free to take as much time in Tartarus as you want. And your party now engages in lots of different banter along the way, which really helps make this place feel so much more alive. And speaking of banter, there's all new voice acting for the English dub as well. And uniformly, it's excellent, and even features some new scenes scattered throughout the enormous campaign. This voice acting also extends to the game's social interactions, which now have brand new Link episodes to explore, which gives them a lot more life this time around. In fact, this revamped version of Persona 3 apparently has more lines of dialogue than any other entry in the series. None of this added material changes the narrative though in any way. It's just more gravy for an already delicious meal. And the core story and how events unfold remains unchanged. Persona 5's network mechanic has also made the jump, allowing you to dip into your menus and check to see how other players are spending their time in the game. And new dorm activities ensure that there are a few new ways to chill out during the daytime afforded between excursions to Tartarus. You get to cook food that can be used in battle, do a bit of gardening, read, and a bunch of other cool stuff. Oh, and we should also give a shout out to the soundtrack that's been retooled and refreshed with an excellent additional new battle theme, and lots of remixes and re-recordings of the OG tracks. Honestly, it's all a bit of a banger. The game's already excellent battle system also receives plentiful upgrades here too, again bringing the whole thing in line with what more modern Persona stands will be used to. The ability to command your party members in battle individually is retained from Persona 3 Portable, and there's even an all-new Theurgy attack system, which is activated by fulfilling on-the-fly objectives that charge your Theurgy gauge. An example of this is Junpei's Hack and Blast skill, which can be charged up by landing critical hits, and results in a devastating slash assault that ignores an enemy's various resistances for mass destruction. These explosive new moves are fused with animations that, honestly, there are just so many moments in this remake where we said, "Hell yeah," out loud. There are so many cool new touches, crazy Persona transformations, and attacks here that it's hard not to be pretty blown away by how much this massive game has been rejuvenated. Even the shift mechanic is a new version of Persona 5's Baton Pass, allowing you to switch to other party members once you've downed a foe. And Shuffle Time changes things up after the battle by allowing you to choose your reward rather than being assigned a single random card for your efforts. So with all new looks, flashy new battle mechanics, new content, refined controls, and little touches and improvements pretty much everywhere you can think of, what we've got here is the best version of a JRPG classic that we could have dared to hope for. Do we wish the choice of a female protagonist was carried over from the PSP version? Of course. And although we get that this is a return to Persona 3 and not Persona 3 Portable, we can't help but feel as though they should have just put her in there anyway. But considering all of the ways she made the storyline in Portable different, it'd probably be more complicated than we realize. But this is the one single issue we had in the game, so it's getting a mention. Beyond this, and mostly for younger players, it's worth noting that there are some really dark themes dealt with here. It may look like Persona 5, which itself is also fairly dark. Persona 3 really does go some places and includes controversial imagery. We should also give a quick shout out to a really nice approachability addition in the form of a rollback function that lets you jump back to earlier points in your save file to rectify any mistakes or do things a little differently, even if it's just something as simple as stocking up a little better pre-battle or doing some side activity you skipped over accidentally. Much appreciated. This really is a rather stunning return to Tatsumi Port Island. Atlus has gone the extra mile, and it's paid off, with a game that now looks and feels the business in terms of providing a thoroughly modern experience. All additions have been carefully and respectfully implemented, and all there is to do now, especially if you've yet to play this one, is dive in when it hits Game Pass on launch. What an absolute treat this is. Persona 3 Reload is a stone-cold stunner. This is how you do remakes, folks, keeping the heart and soul intact while adding all the slick graphics, cutscenes, new mechanics, dialogue, and voice acting fans can handle. We'd have loved to see the option for a female protagonist added, but beyond that, what we've got here is very hard to find fault with. Everything that's been changed has been done so with the utmost care. Every new edition sings, and newcomers and diehard fans alike should find themselves absolutely glued to this one when it hits Game Pass. We know you've all been waiting for this. Just make sure to take a break every now and then so you don't, burn your dread. There it is. Persona 3 Reload is real and it's incredible. Now, as somebody who's collectively put probably around the time it would take to beat Persona 3 into all of the different versions over the years, I'm telling myself Persona 3 Reload is going to be the way that I finish this game. It's beautiful in every way possible. Its animations never get old. This game is oozing quality of life improvements. The voice actors that the team found to revitalize these roles all do an incredible job too. Now, I know PJ's gone ahead and done and dusted Persona 3 Reload himself, but I gotta get back and make some progress in Tartarus, so hopefully you join me pretty soon. Be sure to let us know down below if you're planning on picking up Persona 3 Reload, and of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, then why don't you evoke that subscribe button by yelling Persona? And if that doesn't work, then why don't you just give the subscribe button a good old click? Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you to PJ for spending a heaping amount of time with Persona 3 Reload, and a big thanks to Craig as well for allowing me to hop on the channel here and make a guest appearance. Today, I'm Xeon from Pure Xbox. Tomorrow, I have no idea who I'll be. But one thing I do know is that you should stay safe out there, and we will see you all next time.